Ah, amazing. Best clap of the day. Love it. Love it. Morgan Joanel. Did I pronounce that right?
You did.
That would have been really embarrassing after all that.
No, you did actually. And sometimes it's strange, but you're correct.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for your time and being part of this. I am genuinely so excited. This is very cool. I'd like to start. So most of these people will know that I'm always intrigued by singing, right? And I think a lot of instruments make sense because I can see it, right? And I can see the logic behind it. Vocals, you can't, right? You have an amazing voice. What I want to start with, though, is your vision with how you write your songs and how you layer your vocals. Can we start with talking about how Last High and just the way that, Devil in the Detail, all these songs have these beautiful layers of vocals to it. How do you hear that in your mind and how do you practice that? How does that come about?
I don't know if I do hear it until I'm doing it. And because I use a loop pedal, when I first saw that a loop pedal existed, something in me just went, that is what you are doing. And I got it, the first loop pedal I had. Wow. And the main thing about it was because I can play guitar, I can play rhythm guitar, but I'm not a guitarist. I'm a singer.
Yeah.
And
right.
With that loop pedal thing, I just somehow innately knew how to use it. And the best part about it is just go and record, re-record, layer, loop. And I just really, really enjoy harmonizing.
Yeah, wow.
It's probably one of my most favourite things to do. Even listen to the radio.
Right.
I will always sing a harmony. I just really feel good about it. So when I play live, when I'm recording, it's very natural for me to move into the harmony. And I've been told off a lot of times by not every producer, because some of them are cool, but, some of them are like, that's not correct. And it's not, because I often don't sing. I don't have formal training, so I don't often sing the correct third and the correct fifth, which is fine, but I will do weird little things. And
I'm here for the weird. That's
kind of what I really enjoy doing. So I just let it come out. And I can feel it. I don't think about it. I just...
Yeah, right. Did that develop, or were you from moment one of singing, that was just part of it?
No, it developed.
Right.
Yeah, because I just always played guitar and sang, you know. And then once I got the loop pedal, which was a long time ago, I would do, doubles and just one harmony. And I liked that. But somehow over the last, I think definitely over the last 8 years, it's turned into a whole other thing, because now I write songs where I don't even play guitar. Ooh. And I just either just start humming a bit of a gibberish or an ooh or an or something, and then it becomes a melody, and then I build on it, and then rhythmically I will sing another rhythmic kind of vocal, and it's interesting.
Okay. You've been writing songs a long time. Has the songwriting process changed for you, and how has that changed?
Yeah. I think I have probably 3 different ways, and I never really set out to do one specifically. It will come about sometimes I'll sit there and I don't play licks or riffs or anything on guitar, and I can't just play A minor over and over, so don't we all? But I'll often, if I play covers songs or something like that, I'll get a bit of a chord structure, and for some reason a little melody will start coming up. And so with the looping thing, you can kind of have it running there, and then I'll just start to write a bit of a top line over it. And then I get my voice recorder and I'm like, just track that and come back to it. So sometimes songs take a really long time to turn into something solid, because it'll be a melody that I've had for a couple of years that I'll turn, All Along the Watchtower, was a song that I would play and I'd do all these parts, and then it just started to turn into something else, and I changed a chord here or there, and then it develops. And so there's that. And then when I write with no instruments and I just write vocal parts, it's a very different type of music that comes out.
Yeah, wow.
And I really enjoy it because it feels like something beyond, I can't explain it.
Because there's no limitations, or not the same limitations?
It comes out as this gospel, like Michael Jackson beat kind of thing where I've had people go, "You love the Dangerous album," and I'm like, I love Michael Jackson, but like I don't know the album, and they're like, I can hear the influence, and I'm like. But I grew up doing dancing, so maybe it is in there, like really deep in the subconscious. So yeah, a few different processes, and I always just lean into what it feels like in the moment.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Speaking of in the moment, you've been touted of having a phenomenal live show. Right?
Oh.
Is that because you are in the moment when you perform?
Yeah, that's my main goal. I will have my set list.
Yeah.
I have my moments. This is where I'm going to talk. Try to shut me up, but like, I have to put it in there like, don't keep talking, Morgan. And then I will always build out the time where I want to be able to have the moments where it can just go where it wants to go. And those are the moments where I'm so present. Yeah. And I really feel it's on stage singing like that in a jam and layering harmonies like what I feel like in the moment. And it's just coming through and then I layer it. That is like heaven for me. That is my favourite place.
And so you feel like with a looping pedal, you feel that's more freedom than limitation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, in fact, when I play with a band, I love the part where I don't have to play guitar because I love to just run around and I get to experience it because I'm always solo, I'm always strapped to the guitar and you're stuck there, you know. So it's like that experience with the band is amazing, but I miss not being able to just disappear into the loops and have the freedom. And I mean, it is control over it. It's like I'm pressing record. It's just that then once that foundation is there, the part where the vocal can just do what it wants in the moment. It's like writing a song. And you know how you feel when you write and you have that melody that comes through and you think, where on earth has this come from? Yeah. And so to have that and be able to do that on stage, I just tend to think that's my goal. Yeah. Like a lot of the time, build a set around, there's got to be a moment for that.
And so have you had to then develop your looping pedals or improve your looping pedals to keep up with where the imagination in the moment goes? Like you're in the moment, like I really want to be able to do this next thing, but my physical pedal won't let me take that, and so you need to upgrade and develop that?
I've done that. That's happened twice over the past like 10 years or so.
Yeah, right.
And I at first had a Digitech Jam Man. It's only like one channel.
Yep.
And then I got to a point where I was like, I want to be able to do more. So I bought another one, but you couldn't sync it up. And so even though I have good timing on it, it would it would lag. And so I was like, that didn't work. And then I got the Boss RC300, which I've had for like 9 years or more.
Right.
And that's been amazing. And you have 3 channels to work with on that. So I'll plug a beat in. I've done it where I've played like Alesis or SPDSX, and then I loop it in there and I can do some tambo on the mic and some things like that and a bit of guitar, a bit of electric guitar sometimes. And then I just upgraded the end of last year to the new Roland like Boss RC600, I think it is.
Sure.
And that gives you 6 channels. And I haven't gone that far yet. I'm just getting used to it because it's much smaller and it's nice. So,
but should the moment take you, you can.
I can, yeah. And I know like what button to press.
Yeah.
You know, and that's part of the joy that I have nothing triggered or pre-recorded. And so it really is, I don't know where it's going to go. And I kind of like that feeling of taking a risk every gig.
Yeah, totally.
And I do screw it up, so you know.
It's funny. I like a lot of artists, you know, have dabbled in looping, right? You know, very very simplistic to achieve a certain outcome. But it wasn't until I actually saw Ed Sheeran recently that he made a very clear point of saying nothing's pre-recorded, and that changed the way I thought about it because I was like, wonder if people thought, and because I have seen other artists who have pre-recorded, and rather than loop a thing, they've just tapped a button to hit play, and I've thought, wow, like that changes like how you perceive that live show to be, and let alone having sort of six channels to play with. But yeah, I could imagine sort of sharing that this is all live, this is all in the moment. I think that's a very powerful thing.
I think a lot of people do think it's triggered and automatic. And there's a lot of musicians who will be like, so those harmonies, you know, like they're at a sound check or something, they'll be like, those harmonies that you're doing, is it your voice? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm doing it in the moment. Yeah, but like, is it planned? You know? And I'm like, no, I'm genuinely making it up as I go along. And so I think it just depends on, as a musician, I don't care if anyone uses pre-recorded or automatic things like that, because it depends on what you want to get out and what you want to deliver. And I personally love the risk of going, I don't know what's going to happen. So that's how I use it.
Yeah.
And that makes sense for me.
Love it. Now, you have a song coming out, or depending on when we air this, has been out. Undone, that is the song. Tell us about this new creation you're about to unleash on the world.
Well, it's a very old creation. I wrote it many, many, many years ago, and I've been playing it live for about 5 years or something. And I play it live in a certain way, and I just noticed that it's one of the songs where by the end of it, people are singing the main line and the chorus, and I just remember feeling like, wait a minute, that's really cool. It's not recorded. And it took a long time to get into a position where I was recording it again, and I thought, well, this has to be part of it. And so just before we went to the studio, I was working with another musician, and for some reason I just didn't want to record it the way that I've played it live for like 5 years. So it had a bit of a reset, re-exploration.
Right.
And it actually is we found exactly how the song felt when I wrote it. Ooh. But because I don't play riffs and I don't, play electric a lot, I play acoustic, I hadn't hit it. So I could feel it. And then when I heard it, I was like, that's it.
Yeah, brilliant.
And so that's what the recording is. Which I'm very happy about.
Yeah. That's coming out. When you release, because you've released a number of songs, and with amazing success, how do you position what you want to get out of that song? What job does this song have to do in your world?
That's a really interesting question, actually, because I think it's probably always different. You know, like you write the song and you have whatever the song means to you, and then you realise other people are going to hear it and they're going to take something from it that means to them. So that's that. And then I think in the music industry and being independent and stuff, I've more recently, over the last couple of years, recorded a batch of songs that are just ready, so that if something like a tour comes up or something just kind of last minute, because you know that that's the roller coaster. And if the opportunity is there, it would be so amazing to feel like you've got something ready to go. So I think for probably the last year or so when I've been recording songs, it's timed into, I supported the Super Jesus. I won a competition to play with them, and I had a song ready, and I thought, no, I'm changing it. I was going to release Undone back then, and I went at the last minute, it's not the right song for this show, you know? So I swapped it out, and it felt amazing to be in a position to go, I have the abundance of finished songs that I'm happy with that took ages to record, but they're waiting. And that's the only reason I don't put like an EP out or an album out, because I think it's good to have something new when you're touring or you've got something special to do. And so I think, it's a balance between emotional and what you want out of it, and then what it can do for you, to keep going. Yeah.
Cool. I love that. Speaking of name drops, Super Jesus, like you have a phenomenal list of artists that you have toured with, like Adam Lambert. We've got Pete Murray here, Jason Derulo, hello, Josh Pike, and we've got coming up Newton Faulkner as well. What a phenomenal list, and this is just the first ones that we've kind of come across. From the outside looking in, they would all be fairly, incredible experiences. What is it like going on tour and doing shows with these kind of elite musos?
And they're all very different. That's the other thing,
you know,
all very different experiences with the actual musicians, and where they're at in their career as well, and sometimes you spend time with them, and if you're onto it, like I did tour with Newton Faulkner around Australia a billion years ago, and he's just the nicest person. We had such a great time, and it was like what you just imagine, touring with a band is. We're just out every night, like having a great time. Oh, sun's coming up, better get on the plane, walking into the airport with sunglasses on at 7 a.m, and I just remember being like, I'm such a wanker, if I can say that. But it's just like, oh God, but also realising, I get it now. Why these rock stars are walking around with sunglasses on, because they really are still, they haven't finished partying and they just got to get to the next city. And I was like, little geeky me, I'm so glad I got to do that. And then, Adam Lambert, he was lovely and really friendly, and sometimes they give advice. He was like, you should do this, because he'd come from American Idol and all that. And then Jason Derulo, though, it was towards the very beginning of his career, and he was worried about if he was a good enough dancer.
Wow.
And we're just drinking at one of the after parties, and, actually got to hang out for a little bit, because you don't. There's so much going on, and you just kind of do your show, and 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 I remember him just being like, what did you think? Was it any good? I feel like I haven't had enough time to prepare. And I just remember thinking, oh wow, we're all human.
Yeah.
And we all have something that we're like, I wasn't ready for this, but could take the opportunity, and those things. And then they're all really different. So
that's amazing. God, blows my mind every time. Can we talk about to 2021? I think it was. You had a fairly significant event happen to you, and I want to pick your brain about this, because I think it's remarkable in what you've done since, right? And I don't know. I don't know the specifics of the event, but you're involved in a car crash. That might be putting it mildly. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how it impacted you? Because you were swinging, right? Your career was doing. You were doing amazing.
It was doing
things.
all right. I was about to go on tour and had new songs ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'd just done only a year before, Anne Marie.
Yeah.
And found me singing in a bar and asked me to be, so I was like, yes, okay, I've had a break already. And and then just bang, just got hit by a stupid driver, and I don't remember any of it. So in terms of the actual, I'm probably lucky.
Yes.
That whatever the trauma was, it's just, I had amnesia for 8 days. So I was in hospital and stuff. But broke my pelvis in 2 places, 11 ribs, had a brain bleed, stuff with my neck, a heart thing. I was in a wheelchair for a while, and so not enjoyable. The ribs were really the worst thing. And then recovering from that, you can't work, and I wasn't in a salary job. I'm a full-time musician, and I've always been my own boss. So that was tough, because it was also 2021, mid-2021, there were still COVID lockdowns happening. So there were still those issues going on. And so it was tough. And then lots of, personal things happen around that kind of stuff. And then the issues of dealing with the system.
Right.
And being given lots of advice of what I should do and how I should do it. And being self-employed and knowing what works for me, it was really hard to deal with being a number and next. And it took a while to get some really good people around and a good team. And then it's kind of physically, it's amazing how many layers of reality we deal with that we aren't aware that those things have to kind of work, because if they're not working on the fundamental level, there's nothing else. You can't do anything more. And so I went through I was very depressed and don't want to take the opiate drugs. I don't want to do that, but I have to because I'm in so much pain. But then how do I get out of that so that I'm not foggy all the time and sleeping all the time? And then you do that for a while, and then the habit becomes a mood, and then it becomes now I'm depressed. And then I couldn't seem to get the part of me that just feels like, that's okay. It's all right. Here's the optimistic side, or here's the part where you can get up. And that's probably the hardest thing I found of it all, where I couldn't find my inner compass, and it was really tough. And so I went through a lot of that, and then, you know, physically slowly getting better and stuff, and that took a couple of years. And
wow.
Yeah, and then I'm still in chronic pain, and so I deal with that, and I manage it better because I can tell when it's gonna come on, and it's things like if I'm stressed or if there's a lot going on, I know it's more likely to kick in where my body just starts to, I'm tired, and then I don't want to take the pain meds because I don't want to disappear into oblivion, and I'm afraid like, I don't want to go back where that was, because I took so long and fought so hard to get out of it. And
I honestly couldn't imagine, right? And the impact that must have had, not just to, you know, the mind and the body, but you know, the career, the livelihood, you know, and dare I say, it's something that you probably love doing as well, was impacted. How long did it take, and what did it take for you to kind of pick up an instrument again and get back on stage or behind the mic?
Well, I had to work, and that's the other thing, you know, with all this stuff, like you're judged as a musician as not a real job. So, you know, people are like, well, you can get another job. And I technically could go on disability, and I also don't want to do that because I'm stubborn, and I just go, nah, I'm not old enough to like give up yet. So I'll just keep going, you know. And it took, I didn't really write music. I wasn't interested because I was just functioning for a couple of years and trying to sort that out. And playing cover gigs was really good because it got me back into at least like that bare minimum. So I did that for a bit, and then I just started feeling like I was going back downhill again, and I just went, I think I'm going to buy a one-way ticket to London, and I did, and I got there, and just some magic thing connected with old friends who were in music in Perth, and when I lived in Sydney as well. And they have a fashion brand. I'm wearing it. And they do Americana festivals over all through the UK. And it was going there and being immersed in music festivals that are 4 days long, and it's summer, but it's raining. You know, but everybody is just interested in being around music. And, you know, we don't have in Australia, especially on the West Coast, you know, and I lived on the East Coast, and sure, you got Falls Festival, not anymore, Splendor, not anymore. Like, I mean, it's tough at the moment because they're all disappearing, but, you know, those 4-day festivals where people are just in it and it's a whole experience. And there's so much of that over in the UK that that got me excited again. And I played some gigs in Camden, and everything was just spontaneous. Nothing was planned. And all of a sudden I felt like, oh my God, what have I been doing? And it was like rocket fuel.
So cool.
And when I came back, everything started happening here, and I realized, it's not about anything other than your energy and where your mindset is. And so then I just concentrated really hard on like, just really work hard to get that good mindset back, because it really works wonders.
Yeah. Once you had the mindset, was there any skill deficiencies that needed to come back?
Not really, other than I stand on the injured leg.
Right.
And so with physio, I was like, this is how I use my lip pedal, and this is all the swiveling. And I had to interchange, you know, I did used to swap acoustic and electric a little more, and I played on a drum pad, but involved so much swiveling and balance that I had to just kind of drop it just to acoustic and stomp box, and that's it. So it's weird because it's like I've come back and I'm doing less as an actual musician performing than I ever did before, and yet it feels just as good, and I feel like a better musician even though I'm doing less.
That's so phenomenal, and I hope that both yourself and anyone else that's kind of been through those events and have gotten back to live performing in particular, but also got back to a better space, like to kind of take stock of what you've actually achieved. You know what I mean? Like you're probably like, you know, a foot away from dying. Like if you'd been a foot closer to whatever, if that person was there, or like timing, or a second closer to like it's so phenomenal to think like how severe 8 days of amnesia must have been, years of recovery, and like you're going on national tour next week. You know what I mean?
You know, like maybe cry because like I don't have a lot of people around that like that can put it like that, and actually, you know, and I'm just like go because I kind of feel like that's who I am, and so I forget And it's really only when the pain comes in and then I'm like, right, manage that. Okay. And so I'm always in that, and I'm self-managed as well and all that. So it's like you've got that mind of like, but you've got to get, and it's not as easy to then be like, I'm just like an artist now. And to try and balance those things is difficult, and it's part of the roller coaster. And I don't think I think of it that way, because I've just am here now, and once in a while someone will say something like that, or I'll have a moment where I'm like, I'm so effing humbled, like, and I have these moments where I just whoa.
It is also a defense mechanism, right? Distraction, right? Like, hey, I don't want to deal with whatever that was. Right?
I got amnesia.
Yeah.
Like my body went, you're not going to deal with this. That's fine.
Yeah. And we're just going to, like, go on and do an insane amount of work on something, right? And so, very, very normal, right?
Yeah, and I think because, like, I've never had a boss. I've never worked, for like a company or anything, and because that's just normal, I think that part of me must be in there or it is now, it's back, but in that time where I was like, what am I doing? I definitely had the whole, like, what have I done with my life? Like, I don't have another trade. I don't have a degree. And something in me was just like, well, then you're going to have to make this work.
Yeah.
You have to. And so I did, and I am. That. And so now to be in this position to go, I was definitely not expecting that I'd get this. And so I'm remaining very present, and I'm working really hard to make sure I'm grounded. And so distractions like, I'm going to go see a gig tonight. Yeah. I got other stuff I really have to do, but I'm taking more care of myself now in that balance of real life and people and the people you care about than, years ago when I was with record label and doing all this hypey stuff. It's like different priorities, and now I just care in a different way and value different things in a different way.
Good. Yeah. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm so glad to see it. Nice segue too, thank you. Speaking of record labels, you were with one, and again, from someone that's, from an outside looking in, we have this very naive view of what that means. You were signed with Sony, I think it was.
Yeah.
Tell us about what it's like to have a record label.
Worse than being independent.
Evidently.
Yeah. Very interesting experience. I had a great relationship with my A&R, like the guy who signed me and found me. We just would catch up for beers and chat and like have a good time. And so that side of things was cool. I had management that I didn't realize were feeding just a completely fabricated concept of who I was to the label. So recognizing that years and years later, it started to make sense why things weren't working and why I delivered 70 finished songs to be, can we do a single?
Wow.
And it was all no. And I was just like, I'm so like confused. And, they sent me all around the world to work with all kinds of producers and songwriters, and I was always delivering, and I just could never understand it. And years later, finding out that it's like you can have your suspicions that stuff's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, just finding out that it's like, no, this is the agenda. And it's not the same for everybody. And it's not the same with every label. And times are different now as well. But I think like I was just signed as supposed to be like just a face that could carry a tune and could sing what they wanted. And it was all a copy of American artists or other artists that had already made it. And that was just the moment in time. And on one hand, I feel like I was really lucky to get in there and have the experience. And I made a lot of opportunities out of it.
Yes.
And worked with a lot of great people, made great friends. And I'm still friends with some of those people now. And it's like different on the inside. And there's not really any control or creative control, or there's a limit on the creative expression because it's about the business, which you understand. But then when you're in it and you realize, well, you're just a product and it's not actually about the music. It's about what is this video clip going to say, and does it speak to the suburban people? And I'm like, but that isn't me. So what does it matter? What road and what decision? And it's very strategic.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so it's an interesting experience to be a part of, and I'm very thankful for it because I feel like as soon as I signed it, I was like, this is the wrong thing to do, but I did it. So that risk thing in me was like, let's see what happens. And I think that the artist in me, as opposed to the performer and the one who gets on stage, I think at that moment the artist went, all right, well, I'm going to turn up now. And I think a lot of people would probably look at all the decisions I made and the pushback that I did as, oh, you're sabotaging it. And I'm so glad I did it all because I can say the one thing I held was my integrity. And even though there wasn't much music, I'm like, no, I'm okay with that.
Stand by your guns.
Yeah.
It's so shocking. I never would have thought that would be.
Oh, there's so much.
This has been fascinating. I could honestly, and I say this a lot, but I could genuinely like just pick your brain for hours, right?
Yeah.
I won't though because you are very busy and important. But you are going to play us a song this afternoon. What song are we going to play?
I am going to play Undone, which is the single. So
I'm so excited.
I'm going to play the version that I've played a million years.
I love this.
So it's a little bit different to the recorded one. So that's
even better.
fun.
Even better. We'll get to see the original, authentic product. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing everything. That's very, very kind of you to be so honest and transparent. That means a lot to us, to me, and I don't know. This has been a very cool experience. So
I love chatting about music. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Happy days.
Take me under your wing. I believe everything you say, 'cause it sounds so good to me. You can tell me secrets, tell me lies, be the mirror to my disguise. Oh, 'cause you look so good to me. I share the dreams that have my hair, leave me hanging on your stare. You don't know what my love could do for you. My love will kill you gently, like a bullet from a gun. You're gonna burn so sweet when you reach for that sun. I never should have told you that you could have been the one. I'm gonna pull the trigger just to watch you come undone. Come undone. Come undone. Something I don't want to hear. You could be the light, be the dark, be the absence of my fear. You shake the dreams out of my head and leave me hanging on your stare. You don't know what my love could do for you. My love will kill you gently, like a bullet from a gun. You're gonna burn so sweet when you reach for that sun. But I never should have told you, 'cause you could have been the one. 'Cause I'm gonna pull the trigger just to watch you come undone. Come undone. Come undone. Oh, yeah. And just like a bullet from a gun. You're gonna burn so sweet when you reach for that side. I never should have told you that you could have been the one. 'Cause I'm gonna pull the trigger just to watch you come undone. My love will kill you gently, like a bullet from a gun. You're gonna burn so sweet when you reach for that sun. I never should have told you that you could have been the one. 'Cause I'm gonna pull the trigger just to watch you come Da